But it doesn't matter whether you're building a blog site, a business site, or your own customized hybrid site, the process always begins the same way. Installing WordPress, cleaning WordPress out, getting it set up ready for the content. And so in this video, I'm going to show you the process that I go through when I'm setting up a new site. That will take us to the point where we are then ready to start adding content and defining what the site is going to look like. But this video is your chance to follow my process, and by the end of it, you'll be ready then to start creating the type of site you want to build. The very first thing you need to do is install WordPress. You may already have a web host and want to install WordPress directly on there and build your site online. That's fine. Or you might be using a local install, as we've discussed in the course. For this section of the course, I'm going to be using a local install. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to use local by flywheel, and I'm going to call this WordPress setup, because that's exactly what I'm going to be showing you, how to set up WordPress so that you're then ready to build your site. Once you type in the title, click continue. We want preferred. Type in a username and password. Make sure your admin email is okay. Click on add site, and WordPress should install. Don't forget, when you're doing this, you may need to pause your virus protection. Okay, so now we've got this WordPress set up. WordPress is installed locally. I can click on the admin button because you can see it's already running because I've got the stop site up there. Let's click on the admin button, and I can now log in to the dashboard. At the moment, this is a completely fresh install. If you click on posts, you can see I've got Hello World. If we go to pages, you see we've got the sample page. If I click on plugins, because this is a local install, there aren't any plugins installed there, but you may well have if you're installing this on a web host. So let's go through the process then of setting up. The first thing that I will do is go to settings and privacy, and I want to create a privacy policy. WordPress has already created, if I open this in a new window, a blank privacy policy. Well, it's not completely blank. It's a skeleton privacy policy that we saw earlier in the course, and that's the one I'm going to use. So I'm going to click on publish to publish it, and then go back to the settings and say, all right, I want that privacy policy to be used as my privacy policy. That's the first step. The next thing, I'm going to install some plugins. The first plugin I'm going to install is WP Insert, because I'm going to create the other legal pages that I need. Let's activate it, and then go down to WP Insert, and I want to scroll down to the legal pages. I've already done a privacy policy. What I will do next is a terms and conditions and a disclaimer and a copyright if I need them. I'm just going to do the terms and conditions. So go down to assign pages, click to generate a new one, and then click update to assign it. You'll see now over on the pages we have terms and conditions as well as our privacy policy. If you want to create the disclaimer, you can do that as well. Go down to the disclaimer, read the content, edit it if necessary, go down to assign pages, click to generate, click the button to update, and there is our disclaimer there as well. Next plugin, we're going to add another page, this time a contact page. And once again, we're going to use the Ninja forms. Once it's installed, we'll activate it. And then we'll go over to Ninja Forms. And this is the one we want to use. So we can copy the shortcode. If you want to create your own contact form, feel free. I'm just using the sample that they've created for us. Put contact, paste in the shortcode. You can actually paste the shortcode into a paragraph tag and it will recognize it. Or what you could do is you could insert a shortcode, but I'm going to just paste it straight into the paragraph because that does work at the moment. Let's click on preview page and you can see there's the form being created for us. We have this up here that the contact is the name of the page, and then we've got contact me on the form itself. You'll remember that we fixed that as we were going through the course. We can go to Ninja Forms, click on the little cog, let's go to edit, and then we want to go to the advanced tab, display settings, and then turn that off, display form title. Click done, click publish, come out of that, and then if we go and have a quick look at the site and look at the contact form page, now we've got the contact that is added, the title added by WordPress itself because that's the name of the WordPress page, and then the contact form underneath. That's the contact form done. There are 3 more plugins which I think are essential to any new site, and the first one is Yoast SEO. The thing about Yoast SEO is the sitemap feature won't work on a local install. I do recommend you install it anyway though, even if this is a local site, because it has a lot of other features related to search engine optimization which you can use on your local site. Just don't expect the XML sitemap to display until you move your site onto a web host. I'm going to just click activate. So that's installed. The next one again isn't really for local installs, it's Updraft, the backup plugin. Why don't you need it for a local install? Well, the files are already on your own computer, so you'd be better off using a backup program for your operating system just to back up the folder where your website is being stored. So I'm not going to install it on here, but Updraft Plus would be my next essential, and my final essential is the all-in-one security. Again, I don't recommend you install it on a local machine. So if you're installed on local on your own computer, don't install the all-in-one security firewall. If you are installing WordPress and setting up WordPress on a web host, then install it and set it up as we did in the course. At this stage, if you go over to your website, you probably are seeing something very similar to this. We've got the Hello World post, we've got the menu that's been created by WordPress, and we've got some widgets down here in the footer as well. Let's go and delete the pre-installed content. And the first thing I'm going to go in to is the all posts. I'm going to trash the Hello World. You can go into trash and empty or delete permanently that, go to pages, going to delete or trash the sample page, going to trash, and again I can delete permanently, or empty trash is another way of doing that. So that's got rid of the sample page, it's got rid of the Hello World post. If I go to my home page now, you see there's no post at the top, we've just got those widgets in the footer, and the sample page has now disappeared from the top as well. The next thing, if you're using posts, is to go into the categories and decide what you're going to do for your uncategorized category. For now, I'm going to just click on edit. I'm going to type blog, leave that empty, go down to the bottom and click on update. And if I go and look at my category list now, I've just got that one category called blog. So go and change your uncategorized into something that is a little more appropriate for the type of site you're building. The next thing to clean out are any plugins that may be installed that WordPress installed for us. As you saw at the beginning, I didn't have any of those, But if you do have any plugins that WordPress installed, like Hello Dolly and things like that, you can delete those. The next one is to go to Appearance and Themes, and we're going to install a theme that we want to use. I'm not going to upload it. Just go back and add new, and I'm going to install Astra for these demo sites. Click on Install and activate, and you can see Astra now is my main theme. If I go over to the site and refresh, there we go, we've got the Astra theme. But as part of the clear up, we want to delete any themes we're not using, because these could at some point become security risks. So just click on the theme, click delete, bottom right hand corner, to make sure you've only got the one theme that you're using. The next bit of the initial setup are down in the settings menus. We're not going through all of them. We've been through all of them as theory in the course. I'm going to go through the main things to check. And the first one is on the General tab. Just make sure the administration email address is correct, and it is an email that you collect emails and can respond to. The next one down here is reading. And for reading, all I want you to do is check to make sure that you're using summary. Make sure search engine visibility is what you want it to be. Basically, if you don't want search engines visiting your site and you are working on a web host, then you can click that to discourage them from indexing your site. If you're on a local site, then there's no point. Click on Save Changes, and let's go into the discussion. At the top here, I uncheck this, allow link notifications from other blogs, as you'll remember. If you scroll down a little bit, email me. A comment is health and moderation. Well, we have all of our comments moderated, so we don't need to have an email sent when a comment is health and moderation, because anyone posts a comment, we're going to get an email anyway, so we don't need that. We're going to uncheck this. Comment author must have a previously approved comment, and check this one. Comment must be manually approved. So all comments will be manually approved. If we keep scrolling down to avatars, I click to show avatars, only G, and then I'll put the blank there, but you can choose any of those. Click on Save Changes, and those are the main discussion settings. Since we've just dealt with the avatars on our site, it's a good idea now to go across to the Gravatar site and set up a Gravatar for whatever email address you're using for your contact info here, for your admin email in your WordPress site. So go to Gravatar, set that up, and then come back here. Finally, let's click on Permalinks and go to the Permalink screen. Choose the permalink structure that you want to be using for your site. Because I'm going to be creating 3 different sites, I may not use the same structure, but for now I'm going to just leave it as post name. Click on Save Changes, and the settings now are correct. The final bit of clearing out can be seen if we go over to the home page. It's this column down here, these widgets that I don't want on there. So let's go up to Appearance and Widgets, and I'm going to just go in and delete all of these widgets. And just check there's none in any of the other widget areas, which there aren't. Go back to the home page and refresh. We should now have a completely blank site. We do have this menu up here that was built by WordPress, but we will come in and change that depending on the type of site we're building. But for now, we have a perfectly clean WordPress setup ready for any type of site we want to build.